I'm Erebus. Yes, that Erebus, the one that's known as the Necromancer Erebus, more commonly throughout Discord servers. It's Pride Month, and it's also the first day off that I've had in since June started. So I am just in comfortable clothing, so I'm not dressed up. I'm just wearing clothes that I would wear normally. So if I look a little frumpy right now, it's because I'm just relaxing. Because it's Pride Month, I wanted to go ahead and talk today about spiritual allies in your work, as well as I wanted to showcase some deities that have been excellent supports for occultists and then spiritual practitioners or people of other classes in School of Study. I kind of also wanted to hope to share a little bit about myself as well as shed some light on some of these allies and how they've impacted both myself as well as others in the occult community. I wrote a script for this so it hopefully would smooth out any concerns or uh, make anything jump around too much. So I'm hoping that if it looks like I'm reading, it's because I am. I primed myself with all the information that I wanted to include in this video. I kind of wanted to do this one outside, but the air pollution index is not at an optimal level for me because of the Canadian wildfires. So I'm inside. It's only supposed to be impactful if you're doing strenuous activity, but I didn't really want to risk those biscuits. So I just shut my windows. So we're inside again. I wanted to open this video by sharing a little bit about my own journey in the LGBTQ plus community, as well as cover some of my experiences throughout the occult, periodically throughout this video. So some of you may already know I practice folk magic and demonolatry with a speciality in necromancy. I am also pansexual and I identify as queer and non-binary. I actually grew up non-binary, or with a somewhat masculine lean a little bit. My family was incredibly supportive of this, actually. My mother didn't seem to care which way I decided to lean or what I chose to do. I didn't go through hormone therapy until a few years ago because of this. I had already gone through my life relatively accepted and treated very respectfully by the majority of my family. I don't really know if this is just because my mother just already wholesomely cared about me in a way that didn't impact me as a person, whether or not I chose to be feminine or masculine. But it was to a point where someone at one point in time had walked up to my mother when I was just a wee child and had asked her, "Do you have a son or a daughter?" And my mother shrugged and said, "I don't know. Good question." And left it at that. Just left this stranger like that. Good question. I have no idea. Um, so that's kind of a primer as to how I grew up a little bit. So I didn't face some of the concerns and pressures that other people may have had while growing up. So up until about 2 years ago, I didn't go through hormone therapy, and that was started by Loki. Loki is my significant other's family patron. So in our home, we have an altar and shrine dedicated to Loki and their entire family. Um, they've been super supportive through this entire thing, of course, because Loki, for many people, is gender fluid. Canonically, is gender fluid anyway. So they begun this one day while I was super inebriated, so I don't remember the exact details. We were celebrating, and obviously we got kind of drunk, and Loki began planting the seeds for maybe you should go through hormone therapy. So the next morning, I recapped with them and I asked, what was that about? Um, and so we began working on the concept for a couple weeks. And then after I was like, yeah, maybe this is something I want to do. They were like, okay, I have planted the seed. I've set the ball rolling. I'm going to hand off the reins. And I was confused for a second. And then the next divinity to walk in was actually Mother Lilith, whom I had not worked with beforehand. I had actually I can't say no. I'd actually have some. I was like way younger though, so I don't remember very much. Mother Lilith came to me and was like, okay, we're going to get you in to go see a doctor. And so she encouraged me to contact and engage with Vereen, whom is a member of my demonic pantheon. I'm going to go over that later on in the video. And so between Mother Lilith working with me with gender identity and my inner concepts of gender. She was hugely impactful in that regard. And I kind of bounced between Loki and Mother Lilith as I did some more thoughts and work more heavily with my idea of gender and what I identified as well as explored a couple of other avenues of my concepts of gender, any of the internal concepts I had going on. So as of like now, I've been on hormone therapy for about 2.5 years, and I've actually scheduled top surgery consultation, and it's ooh, I hate this word in English, scheduled for October this year. My experience isn't necessarily unique. Many of the spiritual practitioners that I'm aware of have experienced amazing and wonderful relationships with spiritual allies, whether those are gods, loci, demons, or other spirits. And so I'm just going to list a few that have been exceptionally supportive figures on the journeys of not just my own, but other individuals that are part of like the LGBT community. If you're part of the demonolatry communities or work with the infernal divine, or also known as the demonic divine, myself as well as others have had wonderfully affirming and supportive relationships with these beautiful divines and spirits. I opened this up so suggestions to others in another server that I'm in, the Temple Astra Inferni, run by Astreus. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Um, so the following divinities are some rather um, popular go-tos, as well as incredibly supportive spirits that just they're just wonderful. I'm going to list some of the ways that they have been impactful for other people as well. To begin with, we're going to start with Mother Lilith. She's great and graciously who invites all women. Note I said all women. Trans, everyone. Even if you're cisgendered, it doesn't matter. She accepts and invites all women. And she seems to have a very heavy hand in supporting her children's gender affirming care and supporting her children's journey through self discovery and acceptance of themselves, not just through their gender, but also their sexuality. Lord Lucifer, of course, that's my patron, whom is graciously and lovingly accepts everyone no matter what. Lucifer has always supported the minorities and the marginalized and provides guiding light as well as their love and divine support to all of the downtrodden, the bruised, the abused, anyone who has felt as if they are battling against an infinite army. They're well known for their immense love and their support, as well as encouragement and passion to stand up for oneself while also uplifting others to both share the love and spread the light. We also have President Marbus. He changeth bodies. People have had a lot of personal gnosis about his excellent support and gender affirming care. I'm actually wearing my lion gauges today in his honor. I've heard of Marbus changing the astral bodies of those that work with and invoke him to match their ideal gender goals and aesthetics while supporting their journey through transition therapy as well. Um, Marbus has been very keen on encouraging people to present themselves as they would like to be presented. So if you're looking for support in either the clothing department or styles and aesthetics that you can change for yourself in order to appear as you would like, President Marbus has been supposedly very wonderful for that. But in general, gender affirming care, Marbus is really supportive. We have Duke Dantalion. Dantalion is reputably wonderful in self-discovery, as well as he's essentially a love guru. He has excellent skills in providing a breakdown of yourself, as well as discovering what you may or may not like. Dantalion is wonderfully supportive of all sexualities, and I'm not just excluding my wonderful ace friends out there. You needn't feel insecure or uncomfortable about Dantalion, and I've heard nothing but wonderful things about self-discovery through avenues of sexuality and sexual identity. Rosier of the Ducante families. That's probably an obvious one, has seems to be excellent support for those searching for love and working through your relationships as well as supporting your romantic endeavors. He has had an excellent support system of familiar spirits as well, and they play a variety of roles and interests and are excellent in helping you discover the needs between you and your partners. Um, Prince Vasago, uh, ever vigilant. Vasago has been a prince of inner work and understanding, while also help shape your interactions and engagements with others. This may not seem immediately like a concern or an engagement that people of the LGBT community might be concerned about, but in this regard, he's also very good at helping you navigate your needs and finding those that you can work with to help you move forward on your journey. King Paimon, other people say Paimon. I pronounce it Paimon. I don't know if that's just because of how I grew up, but alchemy has a lot of avenues. And of course, that's King Paimon's field of office. He's not only very well beloved in the demonolatry community, but is an excellent teacher in that department as well. Another gracious contributor of this conversation that I had posted um, iterated that he really helps evaluate your relationships between masculine and feminine, and is very supportive in the unpacking of emotional concerns as well as promoting self-confidence and growth. Dr. Vereen, the beloved doctor. Vereen is actually the divinity that helped me find my doctor, as well as helped me picked out which clinics that I should go to in order to proceed with my gender affirming cares. While not necessarily a psychological divinity, Vareen has been nothing but supportive and has allowed me to talk out a lot of my concerns and insecurities, as well as help me figure out what questions I should ask and could ask about gender affirming care. Prince Cetri is on this list. Cetri is wonderfully supportive for emotional and mental weights that may impact people as they contend with inner conflicts, as well as self criticism. There may be a lot of self doubt and concerns when you begin to question huge parts of yourself that you may or may not have questioned before. Cetri has provided not only myself, but others with words of comfort, love, and encouragement for the journey that we're on. He also has been wonderful aid in providing protection and safety for people in the LGBT community. King Asmodee. He's a lot. Um, he's like the buff uncle that is just all shredded and built like a brick shithouse with a touch of a butterfly or a sledgehammer, depends on what's going on. But when people have approached King Asmodee about their queer concerns and worries, they have been floored and blown away by the sheer rawness of the wisdom, support, and the heavy protection that he provides. He not only holds a shield for you, but he also pushes you to participate in holding that shield. Before you know it, he's let go and you've been holding yourself up without his help. Additionally, King Asmodee has always been intimately supportive of the pioneering of sexuality discovery and self discovery. King Belial is on here. He's a brilliant sun trop, similarly to Lord Lucifer, who provides love, care, support, and protection to all those who want it. All are always welcome to King Belial so long as you're open to yourself. For a lot of this, I have heard he is supportive of encouraging self acceptance and helping you feel that warm glow of inner love and dedication. Frost Solaris has brought up Marquess Gamigan, which is wonderful to hear her exceptionally supportive work. He stated that she's wonderful in breaking down and dissolving the concept of sin and disgust that people feel when they're working with inner conflict and despair about their identity and their sexuality. He had spoken about how she aids in healing generational trauma as well as queer suppression while soothing away feelings of guilt or iniquity. Another individual had spoken about Duchess Gremory and her superb relief that she provided as they contended with their attraction to women. She spoke about Duchess Gremory's kindness in her journey with her sexuality. Duke Agaris, who was spoken about as well in light of this discussion, and uh, has superbly supported of members of the asexual, um, as well as the aromantic asexual. I don't think I worded that quite right. Um, he helped him restore his innocence, as he said with quotes, through breaking down inner trauma that caused spiritual blockages through inner child work. which I absolutely love. A lot of people, not just occult or spiritual practitioners, experience a lot of trauma that can be healed and mended through inner child work. It's a vastly underappreciated field of shadow work, and he brought up Duke Agaris's earthquake energy, helping shake off and crumble the things that he is not. So that's a wonderful way to support your uh, each other, as well as helping accept that concept of what you may think you are versus what you actually are. And we oftentimes do lie to ourselves. And then finally on this list, I have the Baphomet. The Baphomet to me is like the Buddha of the occult world. They are the epitome of all genders with no gender, while embodying everything all at once. The Baphomet is so exceptionally divine and serene that I've found it really difficult to not feel a sense of acceptance, wholeness, and inner divinity while working with the Baphomet. I don't speak as much in public spaces about in public spaces about them as much, as so very much of that work is really personal to me. But for the non-binaries, the agendered, trans, and gender fluid individuals out there, anyone who's not cis conforming, the Baphomet embodies so much for them, for those individuals, while providing this spiritual experience that is almost unspeakably divine and harmonious. This sense of inner peace and balance overtakes everything when I work with the Baphomet, and it has made so much of my work with my identity and sexuality just that much more smooth, as I'm given stable structure and understanding of so much while I work with them. The Baphomet has this uncanny effect on people where you almost see yourself as they see you, and it gives you a whole new light of acceptance and uproots so much you hold yourself down with, and it's an incredible experience. Those are just a small handful of experiences as well as examples. I am so sure that some people may have so much more to add than just this list alone, as well as things that they could have added in the individuals whom I'm already listed. I do not doubt that there are so many beautiful and ephemeral experiences people have had, but the importance of this video to me is to really emphasize to all of you that you are not alone, ever. This path is yours to walk, but there are others around you. There are divinities and spirits that are absolutely there for you to help guide you. You do not have to be afraid or alone in this. You are welcomed by these divinities, and not just that. You also have the testimonies of other people who have also had experiences. They may not be the same as yours, but they share a lot of sentiments and struggles and share similarities to one another. Collectively, you know that you have tangible friends walking these roads, as well as spiritual allies with whom you may walk the path that you are on together. We are there for you, all of us. Don't forget that. So happy Pride Month, everyone, and may you be blessed as your spirits see you fit.